Hey everybody, Slay here. Just let me open up this video by saying I am back. I've been off playing other things. I've had a PC upgrade in this last year. It's been an incredibly long time since I've made any video content, at least a year now. But I've since upgraded my PC. I've gone and soiled my royal oats, so to speak, in other games. I've been playing World of Tanks, a little bit of Civilization, a little bit of World of Warcraft. Um, when games like this kind of dry up for you, you're having bad times, you're having a bad week, bad month, bad day, whatever it is, sometimes the best thing to do is just step away from the game and come back after a long break. It's definitely been a blast coming back and flying around with HR, and it's kind of like riding a bike. Not to brag or anything, but I've been having some pretty good games. So let me, say happy holidays. It's definitely been good having some time off. I have the next couple weeks off, or at least the next about 9 days. Um, so definitely going to use this time to play the game a lot more. Uh, Maybe crank out a couple more videos. Not quite at the pace I was before, where I was making a video every day. That's just not sustainable. Um, Gonna try and make content a lot more regularly now. Still got a ton of planes that I want to review, want to talk about. But we'll kick it off right away with this amazing plane behind me. So you're not seeing double here. I know it is New Year's week coming up. A lot of people are drinking. But no, this is not double vision. So this is the P-82B twin Mustang. Now this plane here, it's been in the game files for at least a year now. Um, Maybe even longer than a year. It's gone through a lot of iterations. We've never really known the stats on it. We've only seen pictures, we've seen a couple paint jobs, um, and whatnot. But we'll go ahead and review the plane, talk about the circumstances why we have it. So I guess first off, circumstances. We got this plane simply because the referral program that this plane was going to be attached to seems to be pushed back. So Wargaming has gone ahead and been kind of generous to let us purchase something from them. Um, But since the referral program was pushed back, from what I hear, they just went ahead and kicked out this plane so that we can have it in our hangars. I think it's only on sale for a couple days here. I went and jumped on it right away. It's one of those planes that I've been looking forward to for a absolutely long time. I've always been fascinated by the 50 cals in the American planes, but I've always felt that they just don't have enough. And when I realized that this plane has 14, yes, that number is right, 14 50 cals, I pretty much had to jump right on it. So if you look here, it's got 6 right here mounted on the wing, center mass between the two cockpits. Um, and then it's got 8 on this gun pod, which is an amazing feature. That gun pod, it's ridiculous. But if you'll notice here, there's nothing here on my outboard wings. And what that does is it creates a pinpoint grouping, and 50s, when you group them so tiny, it's a nightmare for your enemy, that's for sure. A couple quirks about this plane. So it's got 2 cockpits. So 2 cockpits equal 2 pilots. 2 pilots equal 2 pilot hitboxes, where your pilot can be critted. A pilot can be taken out very easily in this plane. It's one of its main weaknesses. It happens. But luckily, again, your pilot gets taken out. Yes, you lose some flying characteristics and some aiming. But again, very small grouping. It's not that hard to aim with this thing. If you'll notice here, it's got 10 HRs, 5 on each wing, and then 2 500-pound bombs. The 500-pound bombs are amazing. Nothing to complain about there. However, these are HR Mark IVs. The problem with these is they are on very lower tier aircraft. These are like tier 4 or 5 rockets. Let's see here. Yeah, they're very low. Definitely not something to brag about. These rockets are pretty poor. As one of my clanmates found out, they kind of fire cross-eyed. They don't fire straight at all. Wherever you're aiming, they're probably going to fire to the left and right of that. It's almost like taking an arty shot in World of Tanks. You just never know nowadays where it's going to hit. But for sure, this plane on paper doesn't look like much. More quirks about this plane, if you'll look at the equipment here. It comes with a cockpit and airframe, 2 engines, and an outboard weapon. This looks really similar to multi-rolls. I believe this is the only heavy, especially at tier 8, that doesn't have a forward firing weapon. You'll notice I'm clicking through all the other heavies here. They all have a forward firing weapon. I would like to point out, with its lack of forward firing weapon and its addition of an outboard weapon slot, this plane plays almost more like a multi-roll that is fast than a heavy. With that said, if this thing had a forward fired weapon equipment slot, it would probably go from being a really good plane to the new meta. I couldn't imagine if you put gas operated on this thing, the fire chance you would have with 1450s would just be game breaking, in my opinion. But I'm just a humble pilot here. I know everybody has their opinion in this game, and that's cool. But that's just, yeah, straight from the heart there. Alright, so moving on, stats. Right, so it's got 14 NG53-2s, 6 on the wing, 8 on this gun pod. The cumulative damage is 728, optimal distance is 540. I could start shooting around 650 pretty accurately. With 50s, you know how it is, the closer things get to you, the quicker they're going to die. So if you get right up on somebody with this plane, about 500 out, optimal distance, you're going to shred things. 1450s is really no joke. It's an absolute blast to shoot things with, for sure. I've gone ahead and kitted this thing out with as much equipment as I could. I wanted to aim for turning with this plane. I was trying to shy away from speed, mainly because this plane starts with like a 13 average turn time. I think it's just slightly over 13. I want to drop that down to 11 so I can compete with the multi-rolls and definitely outturn any heavy that comes to me that isn't spec'd completely for turn. I know there is some out there that probably turn better than this, but this thing is not a dueler, as I called it, talking to my clan earlier. It's definitely more of a brawler. This is a plane you're going to take into a cap, and you're going to just throw your weight around and kind of bully things around and just kill as many things as quick as you can and pray that, you know, too many things don't target you and you get killed quick. It is not a meta plane. This is not going to carry any games. It's not going to single-handedly, you know, boost your win rate and be a pay-to-win aircraft and suddenly make you an ace pilot. It's not going to happen. It's not what this plane is. This plane is, to me, what all premium models should look like. They shouldn't come out and be the new meta. Premiums should never be the meta. It should always be a tech tree aircraft that is the meta. And when I say meta, I'm talking if I put all these planes on paper and next to each other, one is always going to be better than the rest. It's just going to happen. That's how balancing works in video games. A tech tree plane should always be top of that list. If I'm paying for an aircraft and I have no requirements to buy that aircraft, I just have to have a pulse, that plane should never be on the meta. Looking at you, Vampire. That thing is absolutely ridiculous, as we all know. Anybody who's flown the Vampire knows that that thing makes Spit 14s kind of look like a joke. But anyways, enough about other planes, back to this one. So we talked a little bit about its gun armament. We talked about its maneuverability vaguely. So this thing has got pretty good rate of roll, but again, average turn time with full equipment, I dropped it down to 11.2. People with better pilots and better equipment than mine probably can get a slightly reduced time from that. I would like to see if someone could go under 11. I think like 10.9 would probably be the best you can get. One thing where this plane shines, a lot of people say it's slow. This plane is not slow. It's got a 712 cruise speed and 744 boost speed. That is where it's lacking. Its boost speed is only 744. So this is not going to play like your typical heavy. If you look here at the other tier 8s, the Piggy has 800 boost speed, the BVP-203 has 858 boost speed, the DO-335 is a slow plane, so it's only got 760, and then you have your ME-262 with 905 boost speed. That is where that plane shines. It is a boom and zoom kind of plane, but all these planes right here, if you get into any kind of dogfight with them, they're going to be lacking, right? Look at the maneuverability on the 262, 14.9. If you try and turn this plane onto something, it's just going to be kind of a nightmare to play. With this P-82, this thing keeps up with the Horton, the flying wing, in a turn. Then that's a fighter. Yes, it's a velocity fighter and it's built for speed, but the fact that a heavy can keep up with a fighter in a turn is pretty damn amazing, in my opinion. So with that said, it's got very not the best altitude performance, but I guess it's not bad. It's got 2,000, but if you look here, 262 is definitely aiming to go higher. In fact, all the heavies here, for the most part, other than the 1056, are going to be going higher. Typically, you're going to see 2,500 optimal, with the service ceiling about 4,500. So this plane definitely falls short on altitude, but it's not a problem, trust me. Let's see here. So when I'm talking about the speed of this plane, yes, we knock on the boost speed. Boost speed's terrible. Look at this cruise speed though, 712 cruise speed. You won't find another heavy at this tier that even comes close. And what that does for you is it means that you are basically flying around the battlefield at a moderate speed, what would be considered boost on some planes. You can reserve your boost for things like maneuvering, having to get out when needed, etc. When I play my 262, I tend to find myself boosting a lot throughout the game to try and get to a point. Don't have to do that with this plane. You can just fly it, keep tapping the boost, let it regenerate, etc. Flutter it a little bit, and then you're going to find yourself just getting to places very nicely indeed. So what can I say about this plane? One thing, the main thing I can say about this plane is it is good looking. Again, it's not a meta plane, and it doesn't look like crap on paper. Some of the design decisions are absolutely terrifying, on paper, but once you see this replay, it kind of will make sense to you. Not a hard plane to fly, very comfortable. I've always loved the P-38 style aircraft with the twin tail. They have their own maneuvers that you can pull that are kind of unique to the series to make it definitely a funner plane for you. Alright, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and take you guys into the replay. It's good to be back. I'm really excited to make more content for you guys. Definitely felt like, not so much bored without doing this, but it definitely felt like I've been missing something. So it'd be good to make some more videos for you guys. Anyways, off to the replay. Alright, off to the replay now. My first flight, this is definitely my first time flying this thing, so I wanted to kind of take it easy. So Destinal's flying his bomber, which is typically a carry. And yeah, it looks like we were faced off versus an IL-20 and a BF-109C. I start off this game kind of active childish. Definitely want to see the grouping because I didn't even get to take this thing into a testing room. Look at that grouping. So tiny. It's like firing just black laser in front of your plane. It's really, really fun to use. In future replays, I might actually have to knock the sound down in this game to 0, just because it's so loud with 1450s. But yeah, definitely do the best I can. This the sound's down to a 1 right now. Anyways, enough about technicalities. So I open up this game a little bit strong, doing a lot of work there on the command center. You always want to take your command center as quick as you can. That way, when the enemy takes their command center, which is going to happen if they have an IL-20, that your bombers will go straight to their command center base. So we got our command center out. Another strong play here would have been if we would have gone straight to the airfield and taken the airfield, and then let them take their command center. That way their bombers are attacking our airfield rather than the command center. Definitely a strong play. But I had Death with me, so I don't think I could have capped the airfield as fast as he could cap the command center. So I just decided to go with him to the command center. Anyways, So if you saw there, look at the damage this does. This is a Yak 3. That thing just disappears. This plane is the strongest when fighting heavies and multi-rolls. It kills bombers just as well, it kills fighters just as well. Anything you can get in your reticle, it's going to end. It is very, very nasty. The thing I love about American machine guns is the fact that you can fire them forever. I prefer them over cannons. Cannons seem to overheat a lot. If you get some missed shots with your cannons, you're going to be in a world of trouble, kind of like I am here. I've got something on my tail. I did mention some maneuvers you can do. If something mounted there, that would have been bad. But you can do a little bit of a loop-to-loop with these twin-tail planes. You kind of come around and aim your guns on something. It's kind of cheesy, but it's definitely something you can pull off when things are really rough. So I've got, 20 health. I'm gonna go ahead and do everything I can with that. Obviously it wasn't too much. Go head on with the key. Even though it's not the most amazing turret fighter, he did 30 damage, which is all he needed to do, right? Still a very strong start to this game. First sortie, 5,600 points. I would prefer to have only one sortie this game. But when you're brawling in heavy and you're playing it like a multi-roll, you're going to have deaths. It's just going to happen. The thing that I can, definitely give you guys to take away from this is look at the firing power of these guns. Look at everything you can do with this plane. I'm going to go ahead and take it up here to this bomber flight and see how that goes. This is my first time engaging a bomber flight with this aircraft. So we'll go ahead and see what I can do. This 50 is so far performing absolutely above standard for me. I'm used to American 50s just kind of being weak. But the more I think about it, I don't think that 50s have ever really been weak. It's just they've been weak for the number we have, right? So when you're playing a plane like the FJ1 or the F86 and you got 650s, that's not even half the 50s that this plane has, right? So you can take a lot of pea shooters, so to speak, and you'll come out with half of them that would definitely need to get a lot of damage. With this plane, I almost rammed that thing. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. But yeah, definitely want more 50s, right? I don't think you could ever have enough. But let's see how this thing does versus bombers. So first, taking on this Ju-288, it just melts. Every bomber that I take on, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a spoiler, they melt. There's a lot of melting in this video. So luckily no player bombers. They would have used their guns a lot more effective than bots do. This B-32, for instance, if this was a player, I'd probably be getting shredded right now. So you would definitely have to take these things a lot more cautious. But with this bot, you can sometimes be cheeky and come at it from the tail, which is something you would never do with the bomber. You would always want to come at it from the side or below. But yeah, felt a little confident in what I was doing. Knew that I was facing bots. Decided to act on that. The thing I don't like about watching replays and making videos from that is if you look, it looks like I'm not even hitting my target. Again, I always prefer to record a video live, but it is what it is. I did not expect to be making a video my first game taking this thing out. Usually I'm used to the first time I play a plane, got some growing pains, I'm gonna have to do some things, adjust my parameters, so to speak, adjust my hacks, that we get accused of all the time, so I can make a good video for y'all. But this one was good right out the gate. So shred, multi-rolls, they're one F2G, 208. 47 is a tier 7 one, or tier 6, sorry. So finishing off this game, finally find the IL-20 player. I think he spent a lot of time down south at their command center. Very slow plane. Name's halfway over before I get to even see him. Almost get a pass on him to take him out there. But again, pull up, do that loop to loop, come back down, and I'm going to go ahead and set him back on this guy. Typical tail wipes out my pilot. I did mention before biggest weakness to this aircraft is the pilots, the fact that you have two. You're just going to lose your pilots left and right. So get used to flying with a orange or red pilot. It just is what it is. So I come in here thinking that this is an easy cap. Look here, one plane would have taken it. Had to come in, and then I realized my L-10 just got shredded there, and I'm stuck. Things start turning bad. I turn around, the L-20 spawn, looks like he's turning to me. I see the BF-19 coming in. I've got two light fighters on my tail. Things are just shredding me alive. But here I am with a pilot missing, and I'm still able to outturn this heavy. And you know, with 1450s, something's gonna hit, right? So, you know, unfortunately this guy was flying the 19Z. It's not bad heavy, but it's really doing. It's not meant for this kind of stuff. But I walked away with the ace on my first game. So, 20 kills, something like 14,000 damage. Don't get to show you in-game stats because this is a replay. But 17k score, I believe, so it's yeah, Wing Legend, Campbell Medal, Hero of the Sky, and Ace. Very first time taking this plane out. 17,740. I won't say this plane makes you a better pilot. Again, like I said in the hangar, this plane is not going to give you any skill that you don't have already. But it is a really fun plane to fly. It performs a lot better than some of the people who were criticizing it before. As soon as it came out, the minute they saw it didn't have guns, gun slot, that was a big thing, stop people. I would say with the gun slot this thing would be overpowered. But I hope you guys saw this video. You make an informed decision whether you want to get it or not. I know you only got a couple days to get it, but it's probably going to be offered in the future. I hope this video helped you guys. I'm definitely glad to be back. I love flying with you guys. I love seeing you guys out in the community. You guys are what makes this game fun for me. The shoutouts are great, whether they're bad or good. I don't care. You guys, if you've got any criticism you can offer, I'm always up for it, definitely. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you guys make a good purchase on this plane if you want to get it. And happy flying. See you guys out there. Good luck.